not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my final thoughts and redirect for Rurouni Kenshin episodes 14, 15, and 16. So go ahead, click the link in the description, check it out over there, come back here, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're currently watching this on YouTube and you would like to see next week's reaction to Rurouni Kenshin or any of the series that I'm reacting to, check out the link in the description to my Patreon. I usually post early access within a day of posting the new episodes here on YouTube. You'll get next week's reactions to that same series within a day, usually on Patreon. So yeah, go ahead, check that out if you're so inclined. Alright, so we had some awesome episodes today. The first one was centered around this priest healer who was this false healer who went around with his gang trying to manipulate people into thinking that he is the true doctor on the scene, and he was like bad talking Megumi and her medical practice and saying that basically that she's a scam, like a hack, but really he was the one scamming everybody. He had like a group of people on his side. I forget what they called themselves, but he had a group of people on his side, and they like would pretend to be sick, and then he would pretend to heal them, and then he got the trust of the people in the village. But when it came down to it, he was unable to help, and Megumi and Sanosuke and all of them were able to expose this guy, and turns out in the end he was a coward who falls for his own tricks when Megumi at the end basically made him think that he was healed from being hit in the stomach with just some simple water. So, that was a cool little standalone episode that showed some decent character development with Megumi, especially because, last we saw her, most of the last we saw her, she was pretty, timid still, and she was trying to, kill herself, and now she's trying to make up for all of the things she's done when she was working for the Oniwaban group and all of them. So, that was pretty cool. But the real good stuff that happened in this reaction was the Jinpuu squad and them working for that corrupt senator. The corrupt senator hired them to basically take out other corrupt politicians, and they were doing it in the name of justice, but really he was just using them to assassinate them so that he can further his political career. And I guess, I don't know what his end goal was, but either way, it wasn't met, but I'll get to that in a second. So, they tried to recruit their old teacher, or at least the main leader of the group tried to recruit his old teacher, who was like another manslayer back in the day, who actually fought Kenshin at one point during like the Kyoto battle or war or whatever the hell that was back in the day. But the cool thing about the teacher was he's devoted his life to teaching. He's basically doing the same thing that Kenshin does, which is very respectable and honorable, and I really like his character. He decided that he doesn't ever want to touch a sword again. Unlike Kenshin, who's using his sword for good, he decides that he would rather work hard and teach underprivileged children how to read and write and how to be good people, and really nothing more respectable than that. You can't not like the guy and his resolve, and even to the very end he resolved himself to be that person, and I hope we see more of him. I hope he wasn't just a short little character that we get to see for these 2 episodes, but this isn't a very long anime, so it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see him again, but I did like him. But yeah, his old student from back when he was teaching, I don't know what you'd call it, his martial arts style or whatever, his samurai techniques, whenever he was teaching them, that guy, I guess, looked up to him, and he wanted to use what he learned to change the world, and he was still going on that route. He still was going down that path of using his sword, even though the war has since been over. It's really all he knew how to do, which is another common theme that we've been seeing in this series so far. And he was being used by that politician. So him and his group are going around killing all of the other corrupt politicians and gaining support. But their methods and the reason why they were doing it were askew. So, but in the end, with some help from the teacher and beating up from Sanosuke and Kenshin, he did come around and he tried to kill himself, but the teacher stopped him so that he could repent and go to jail for his crimes and hopefully come out a better person. And the politician got what he deserved in the end as well. And overall, they were a great group of episodes. I will mention, though, that it doesn't seem to be moving the story along yet. Like, I'm still wondering when the main story of Rurouni Kenshin comes in. I think I'm about a quarter of the way through at this point, so there's still plenty of time for the main story to come in, but I am enjoying these little mini arcs, although they do seem to be very similar with a group being used by some other higher power. I am enjoying them quite a bit and seeing the great character development that the series is giving the characters, so I can't fault it for any of that. It's just something that I've noticed and I thought I would mention. I think that guy was voiced by Steve Bloom, the old student, the assassin guy who was the leader of the Jinpuu squad. I think he was voiced by Steve Bloom, which is very funny since I'm watching another anime with Steve Bloom in it right now. But I'll have to look it up to be sure, and if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yeah, it sounded a lot like Spike to me, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, overall, really like these episodes. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.